Hi, everyone, and welcome to a sneak peek at the book club picks that we have for 2023 for Planner Pixies. So if you didn't know, my name's Lisa, and you're watching the Pretty Fabulous channel. If you're here, this was supposed to go live on Tuesday. I didn't even send out an announcement about it. I have been super sick with the flu since like Christmas morning. So finally feel better today. I actually took a shower, blow dried my hair, put on some makeup for the first time, and I'm really excited to share this with you. And I know I kept rescheduling it because I just couldn't kind of get it together today. So let's go into all the book clubs. So if you didn't know, Planner Pixies is my signature and only membership. And every month we have a new goal setting get together. We have challenges, new templates come out. You have unlimited access to every single template that I've ever made. And yeah, so very excited about Planner Pixies. I really think memberships are like where I want to be. And I don't even want to say memberships. I don't think I even have the bandwidth to run multiple memberships. So this is it. This is the one membership. So what's different? So when I originally started last year, this time, this was called Goal Getters. And Goal Getters was all about productivity. And it morphed into Planner Pixies. But because it had originally started out as just productivity, and I picked all the books at the beginning of the year, they were 100% just focused on process and systems and time management, and that was pretty much it. So this year, what I tried to do is we still have productivity books, but I also added in some graphic design, some marketing, and some business. So that is kind of all encompassing of basically everything that we've been talking about during this last year of Planner Pixies and the questions that have come up and things that people are interested in. So here is the list. Don't worry, I'm going to go through each of these books. We have a new book every month. So if you're not sure how book club works, so book club is like its own little entity inside of the Planner Pixies membership. And every month you have all the books right here. So you know, like if you wanted to start reading them early, but by usually like, I used to say by the end of the month, but usually by like the first, or even I think I did the last 6 books like all at once. I will have the book slides up, which are summaries. So for every chapter, I just do a synopsis for you, like what was it about? What are the major takeaways or action items? And do I even think it was worth reading, right? So I think, different books, instead of just saying, the whole book was awful, I usually just say certain chapters, this was a great chapter, this wasn't such a great chapter, maybe you want to skip this. Everybody's time is limited, and maybe you can just read the summary and you're good to go. So you get all of that for every month, and you have all of last year's too whenever you join. So here's the order of the books that we're reading. So for January, we're going to talk about business, how to be everything. So everybody in the group is super multi-passionate. And when I say everybody, that includes me, right? I'm an author. I still do human resources as my day job. I love doing graphic design. I wanted to do website design, Shopify store design, right? Like I just want to do it all. I want to do all the things. So if that is you and you also suffer from that, and I think, the beginning of the year is always a great time to kind of just ask yourself, what is my purpose in life and why am I here? And so I think that is going to be a really great book for us to read together, to discuss together, and really dig into for January. So it's kind of like What Color is My Parachute, which is a really popular book from like the 60s, I think it was written, or the 70s. So it's a more updated version, I think. The next book for February is all about self-improvement. It is One Decision. And this is just trying to make decisions, because I always try to say I need to go with my gut, right? And you watch all these Hallmark movies and rom-coms, and they're always like, go with your gut and do what your gut tells you. And then I read this really fascinating article, I think it was in the Harvard Business Review, about this guy that said, yeah, that's actually wrong. So there's a lot of times, because you have limited knowledge, limited experience, and just a limited worldview of what's going on in a particular situation, that your gut is actually totally incorrect because you don't have the tools and the knowledge and the experience in order to have a good gut feeling. So, don't go with your gut. Maybe you should do some, fact checking first. And so this was supposed to be, and I haven't read it yet, but it was supposed to be a good book on how to teach you, the difference between when to go with your gut and when to actually do some more research, because I can just go down that rabbit hole of research and research and just never actually make a decision. And then March, this is an oldie but a goodie. This is Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand. And I think this is really important because a lot of people are always trying to refresh their brand, questioning whether or not this was the right business for them. And, as I'm doing my business all the time, I'm rebranding the colors and the logo. I'm always like, why did I name it Pretty Fabulous? Like, is that really all encompassing of everything, right? And this membership started out as Goal Getters, and then I renamed it to Planner Pixies, right? So I think maybe taking a step back and just kind of reassessing from the very beginning, who are you trying to serve? What are you selling? What message are you giving? What is your brand? And I think that's going to be a really great starting off point for like the first 3 months of the year. We move into April. We have like a nice, soft, touchy-feely book on self-improvement. It's called Dopamine Nation. And this was actually recommended during the Andrew Huberman podcast, which, don't worry, I still am not a podcast person. I just really like his YouTube channel. I think he's fascinating. He goes through, he's a neuroscientist, goes through for like 2 hours with actual fact-based evidence, also giving his opinion as well as interpreting the data for you, but it not in a, didn't seem like a political way or anything like that. So I felt like this was just going to be a really great dive into our overconsumption of just doing stuff and how that's kind of possibly ruining I think it goes deep in this. He did obviously a way better job of explaining this. Like, for example, TV. I love TV. And because I get an instant hit and it's so easy just to watch an episode of basically anything, even if it's a rerun, over actually doing some work or working on my book. And so why is that? Why am I doing that? So I thought this could be like a really good insight into helping to fix that root cause of, I think, a lot of people who procrastinate. May, we go into marketing again. So Sean Cannell and Benji Travis, and I think Sean Cannell's like, I think he has a bigger channel on his own, but he is really prominent on just helping other YouTubers, helping other aspiring YouTubers, just talking about the platform in general. Anyways, came out with a book. I thought it'd be really great. I think I was surprised that so many people were interested in starting a new YouTube channel. And there was someone else, there's other people too. And I think it's totally okay if you have decided this isn't for you. There was another person whose mailing list I'm on, and she is more of a business coach. And she was like, I hate YouTube. I can't stand it. And it was kind of funny because she grew her channel to like 5,000 in a year, which I think is amazing. But as a podcaster, she said she had millions of downloads. And I know nothing about podcasting except that I avoid it like the plague. So for whatever reason, if you are a coach and you're chatty and talky, I guess that makes sense that podcasts are, where it's at for you, and YouTube maybe is not your thing. But for everybody else, I still think YouTube is going to be a fascinating platform, especially like if you think about the Andrew Huberman podcast, I would have never listened to if he did not have a YouTube platform for it. And he is just talking, like there's no action or like, take away like cutaways of like, B-roll that I see a lot of people doing. And I actually don't like B-roll and I know it takes people a lot of time to do that. So if you are like thinking about doing a YouTube channel, you could totally just do a talking head video. You'll notice that I never add B-roll video. I just think it looks kind of cheesy personally. And it's honestly a waste of time to search through tons and tons of clips just to find that cheesy B-roll, in my opinion. So the June, we're going to go into graphic design. So Fiona Humberstone, I don't know if I'm saying that right, is a graphic designer in London. And she just had lots of pretty pictures, honestly, in the book. And I thought it would just be a nice break, especially as graphic designers, to just look at pictures, right? And so that's what we're doing for June. We're just going to take a break and look at some pictures. July, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. It's again about trusting that intuition. And they had this thing about making fast versus slow decisions versus logical decisions. So I just feel like the key to success for anyone in business is the ability to make not only quick decisions, but good decisions. And, that would be, I mean, that's probably the key to succeeding at life as well. However, I think sometimes when it comes to the small decisions, we hesitate and those stop us from actually getting to the big decisions because we're wasting too much time on things that don't matter. And I've talked about this a lot, like things that like what clothes you're wearing, how you're going to style your hair, what you're going to have for lunch, right? Like all these decisions like cause decision fatigue. So anyways, thought this would be another great book. August, this is the Ultimate Guide to Selling on Etsy. This is really the only book that I saw on Etsy. I think a lot of people are still on that platform. I do believe it is worthwhile to go on there. And we've never really talked about that. So I thought this would be a good book to dive into together. Another graphic design book. So this is an oldie but goodie. Austin I think he has other books where they're just kind of like big words on a page, right? So it's like a very fast, easy read. And I think sometimes you just need something light. So that's what we're going to be doing for September. Almost done. October, it's never too late to begin again. So this is another sort of touchy-feely book, especially if you're going through just wondering if this is, again, where you should be. And by the time we get to October, honestly, whatever you started in January or solidified in March, you might be at the point in October, especially as the weather gets colder and the end of the year is coming up. You might be like, is this really what I want to do? Like, should I do this? Is this where I need to be? And so I thought that would be a good place to stick that. November is Hook Point. So Brendan Kane is the guy that wrote How to Have a Million Followers or something like that, which, I have zero interest in finding a million followers. However, Hook Point I thought was really good because obviously, he's all about social media, but just trying to get someone's attention in a couple seconds, whether that's email, video, I don't even know what other formats, any other formats, pictures, graphics, because that's pretty much what we're all competing for. And then December, shipping creative work. It's just I really like Seth Godin. Like, I just think he's a genius and everything he says is just fabulous. So this is basically just a collection of random blog posts. So, I thought that's kind of something fun for us to finish out the year. So those are all the books for book club. If you don't know how book club works, again, here's how it is. Step one, all you have to do is read the book. Usually these books I always read them in ebook, but they are in paperbacks. I try to find books that are available in audiobooks. Not all of them, especially that Fiona Humberstone one, because it's a graphic design. It's mostly just pictures. I would strongly suggest joining Scribd. I'll put a link in the description. I totally forgot to do that. I'm just seeing that now. For a 60-day trial. So Scribd is like, it's like Kindle, right? Like, or not Kindle. It's like Netflix. Like, you can just stream audiobooks and download as many books as you want per month. And I say as many, I think there is a limit on audiobooks because that last year, not this year, but 2021, I read 300 books in the year. And I definitely put Scribd to its limit. All of a sudden, there were no books for me to find. Like, the search results were empty. And they were like, yeah, you've exceeded the number of books that you can read in a month. So I think it's only like $9.99 a month. But if you use my link, you can get 60 days of a free trial. And most of the books, so you don't have to buy them, are available on Scribd to download and read or to listen to the audiobook. Another thing I would try before, because Audible is almost like they always have the book, right? It's like Amazon. They always have the book. However, I would try audiobooks.com first. First I would try Scribd, right? That's usually like the cheapest. And then the second thing I would try is audiobooks.com. They usually have deals on different books at different times. But those deals, when I say they have deals, those deals sometimes last a month and a half to 3 months. So you never know. I always just check there to see if something's on sale. All right. So where is book club? So the next step is you're going to go into Circle, obviously, if you're a member of Planner Pixies. And inside of there, we have a section just for book club. And then for each month, you're going to see the books just like this. You'll open up into that individual book. And for that month, each month has its own post, and you'll see the book summary. You'll see the book slides you can download. and links to where to buy the book. So that's done all for you there inside of Book Club. And then there is also, so the book recaps, like I said, they're about 10 minutes each. It's what the book's about. I do a little intro at the beginning, like who is this author? Because I do try to pick books sometimes based on who that person is, what their authority is, what kind of platform they have, whether or not I kind of like what they've talked about. If they've had a podcast only, I probably am not as familiar with them. I probably didn't choose somebody like that, but yeah, like I said, chapter by chapter breakdowns, takeaways. So in theory, if you wanted to, if you're in a hurry, this is like a book summary. You don't even have to read it. And then download the book slides, and that's pretty much it. So just want to give you a preview of Book Club. So I will be back here. I know we're getting so close to the end of the year. I'll be back here tomorrow at noon to go live again. And we're going to talk about wrapping up the end of the year. So I'm going to have an end of year checklist for things that I would suggest to do before the year ends to kind of wrap it up, make sure you've dotted all your I's, crossed your T's, whatever that expression is, and just make sure that you can start the new year fresh. And don't forget, I will be going live January 1st. Just like last year, we're going to do a big whole 2023 2-hour planning session. I'm just going to say 2 hours. Like last year, I was like, it's only going to be an hour, but for the last 3 years that I've done this, I don't think I've ever finished before 90 minutes or 2 hours. So just plan on being together with me from noon Pacific Standard Time till 2 o'clock because I am chatty. All right. I hope everyone's having a great day. Oh, Shelly. Hey, great lineup. Good. I'm glad you're excited. I'm very excited. And I will see you back here tomorrow at noon. All right. Bye.